him. But Ricky
Okay, we're
seemed
streaming.
happy from then on.
All right.
Are we
We're ready to
streaming?
start. Yeah.
Are we going? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cut all bullshit.
Good luck with that.
It's just pretty like. All right. So, good break. Everybody's back from family shit. Blah blah. Let me turn off fucking SL sounds because you're stupid fucking talkers. Where's my agenda? Okay. So basically, next week will be Raid Week, another one, and we're gonna be doing this
Raid week.
every Raid Week.
Raid Reek?
It will be next week. God damn it. And so we're gonna do one of those every month to kind of stir up activity. Though there is a lot of people on, but the SLMC is kind of slow as fuck. Like we have like 3 big groups essentially to fight. One of them throws tantrums every time we win. So choose what you want to deal with.
2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Some things will change this year, most likely. I've been in contact with the Navy because I'm gay and joining, and
They're gonna let you in with what's wrong with your wrists?
yeah, so they said like it's perfectly natural for Navy men to have really limp gay wrists.
Oh, okay,
So,
fair enough.
so
I'm thinking
the-
you're really serious.
yeah. So when I go in, depending on when I go in, I'm eventually have to step down, but that's when that happens. But if they DQ
It's okay,
me,
we already have your replacement in the
Yeah.
line.
but if for some reason like I get DQ'd, then I still remain in power. So I got some Mechanica stuff. We got a bolt pistol coming, a new model. We're gonna have a jet board, and we're going to have a a new sword, which I call Slanesh Rapier, which
Yeah,
is rapier,
he's making
but
a
it's
rapier. Yeah.
Rapier. It's
Oh,
a rapier.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got to say. And then Hidet's got a whole bunch of boring stuff we have to listen to now.
It's my turn! Hey,
Go on.
give me the podium.
And the sun
Oh.
crashes.
Yeah. I don't see you.
What? You don't see me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right
that's weird.
there.
Yeah, you got teleported in and out. But okay, so a lot of things are happening in Mechanicus, like always. But so we changed the way that the draw and sling system works in all the guns. We're also swapping out all the armory boxes, and we're changing the database again to be more intuitive. One of the big problems that we've had with the database, which was really stupid of Dread Knight to begin with, is that we had to manually change all of the flags on the boxes every time we wanted to update the vending script in each box. We could just put those flags on linked prims attached to it because the description holds the URL so that we don't get the URL timeout thing anymore, because somebody showed Linden Labs how spamming HTTP requests can be bad and break sims. Sorry. So we're gonna be updating the whole armory, which includes this new draw sling system. Some of you have weapons that are already using it, that have been testing it. I can attest that at 0.5% script run, the weapons draw and sling like normal, which is absolutely incredible. I don't know why switching from just using an integer to decide whether it's drawn or slinged instead of a state entry had that much of an effect, but it does. So we're going to be switching that whole thing out. Animesh is coming soon. Billard or I will be rigging the zombies for Animesh, because Linden Labs has confirmed that the land impact total that they were using on the beta grid is just a placeholding value, and there may not be any additional land impact associated with Animesh by the time it releases. We should expect to see Animesh sometime within the next 90 days, if we're lucky, but I would probably expect it around summertime. Because of Animesh, there are a lot of projects that I'm going to be working on for the group. I'm going to rig and probably clean up Briggs Dreadnought, unless Sarah wants to do that because she already has the model.
I'm not gonna rig it.
Well, I'll rig it then. That's fine. I'm going to be making a Chaos Knight Titan for Sam at some point for the rest of the group. I'm not sure if Sam wants to share. Basically, Sam wants to show people how to do mechs, and I'm in full agreement with it. now that we can attach Animesh objects, we can scale them up to the right size as an attachment, and then create a bounding box for it and stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot less laggy than the way we used to handle mechs. The zombies, we're going to be able to have like 200 times more zombies out if they maintain the same land impact.
It will be for the rest of the group at either Marauder or Chosen level.
I would put it at Chosen or higher.
Yeah.
Or make it Corruption unlockable too.
That would be a good idea, yeah.
Yeah. I want to redo the Terminator, because of the fact that I worked on that model with Jimmy Kobo and Apollo, and I want something that we have that no one else has access to. That'll be really easy to do. The Terminators are very simple model, and it'll look better than the one that we currently have. However, the one that we currently have will probably see usage in the armory before I'm done with the new ones. I have a list of things for modelers to work on as we're going. I think I put Zane to work on the Sword of the Lair, which is the Horus Heresy's version of the Lair Blade that Fulgrim uses, which I think looks a lot cooler than the one that Lucius has in the current 40k model. There's a couple other things that I want to get made, like a Croisius. Well, a Cursed Croisius. The Lehman Russ is almost done, which means we'll be getting a new tank model. The Hellhound is getting pretty close to being done as well. I said that I wanted to get a Titan done in 2018. Well, I guess I'm going to be the one making it. We'll probably get a Knight first, and then I'll probably do a Warhound or a Reaver. Reaver's scale is so large that I don't know if we'll be able to do that in Second Life, but it'd definitely be an interesting thing to do in High Fidelity. As for High Fidelity, we're kind of looking to the future for that. I know that a lot of you aren't all that interested in VR, but I think I can sway your opinion as the price of the hardware diminishes and the quality of the hardware is pretty top-notch. And as I envision a game like what we do now, where you can reach out and touch the environment, where it's far more interactive on like a one-to-one basis. And yeah, the building might not be as intuitive and so on and so forth, but most of us do most of our building in Blender anyway, or in 3ds Max, or in Maya. The cost of an Oculus Rift or an OS VR HDK 2, and even the Vive have all gone down by like $200. For $400, you can get an Oculus with touch controllers. You add another $90 on top of that, and you've got the Leap Motion. So, I mean, it's really a no-brainer in the near future. Your phones will even be able to handle it, and you can hook up Leap to your phone right now if you've got an OTG cable and a USB hub. So, I'll continue to... Probably I'll either be updating the Chaos YouTube or my YouTube personally about VR and affordable ways to get into it, what you should expect to work well and what you shouldn't in the near future. We'll begin working on something similar to what we already do in the SLMC in High Fidelity first, with just a capture the flag system, and then we'll move on from there to eventually building the system that we want that would be more like how PlanetSide 1 worked. We have 32 kilometers of usable space in High Fidelity. In Second Life, we only have 256 meters for the flat, XY plane of the sim. You've got 32 kilometers in all directions, XYZ, in High Fidelity. You start to get some floating point errors once you get out beyond like 17 kilometers, but even at 15 kilometers, that's still 125 times bigger than what the sim is right, or no, sorry, 62 times bigger than what the sim is right now. So just bear in mind that that's so much extra space. That's bigger than the whole map was for PlanetSide 2. It's bigger than the map for Neocron. I mean, I could go on, but we can make something really cool over there without having to code an engine from the ground up, and it already supports a lot of the features we need. So we'll eventually get there. We have all of our content. We're going to do a major backup of all of our content and models very soon. Things that we don't have files for anymore, we're going to end up remaking, which means they're going to look better. As far as Raid Week goes, it's kind of a toss-up. I'll be around a lot more next week because I'm recovering from this tooth thing. So I'll try to lead some raids. It's just kind of hard to figure out where we can go at the moment other than Decredom. But I really don't feel like sitting in a spawn and getting nuked or anything like that. So hopefully people will come to us that watch this video. Hopefully Decredom will cool it with the nukes because I do enjoy fighting them. We can always go to Silverhawks, but they have a homestead. We can always ask Silverhawks if they want to come over here and play CTF with us too. We can go to Valix, but their sim lag's kind of bad. Origin's probably getting a full sim soon, which brings me to my next thing. There's this thing going on right now, I'm not sure if a lot of you have heard about it, called the Unity Venture. It's New Rome and Jaeger want to start their own combat continent. I'll be at the meeting for it tomorrow at 6 p.m. SLT. I have a whole write-up on things that I'm going to warn them about, things that I hope they'll listen to me about, but we are not getting involved in this and we will not be attaching a sim to it, and hopefully Jaeger, Van Hixing, and Gunhaven will understand that if they attach militaries to this continent before the neutral portion of it is done, they're looking at a very quick death for their continent, which is a lesson we learned the hard way twice, and a lesson that I don't want to see somebody else repeat because I like intersim combat, but we can't spend $5,000 putting a continent together again. It's too much for the group. Like, the amount of money we spent on the Outlands would have covered the sim costs for the past 2 years. The Outlands wasn't a huge failure either because we have so much intersim technology and stuff like that. Once a continent pops up, we're ahead of the game when it comes to that. A lot of people's armored vehicles don't cross sim borders like ours do, and so on and so forth. So just bear in mind, I'll probably record the Unity Venture meeting if I can. I'll talk to Jaeger and them about it. And, I'll be in a place at some point next week with faster internet, so I'll be streaming the fights and stuff like that again to help bring audience back to the YouTube. And to anybody that's not in the group right now, the reason we haven't been streaming all that much is there's just not all that much. Anyone that's not in the group that's watching the YouTube right now, there hasn't been that much going on in the SLMC. I mean, peak times are down by 25%, and I know it's the holidays and it'll pick back up, but at the same time, we said that about the summer, and the summer was really bad. I think we only had 2 or 3 days over the summer where there were like 100 people on at any given time, and it used to be so much better than that.
And 2, possibly 3 groups have flat out died.
Yeah, so update. Valkyr doesn't have a sim right now. Dravis disappeared. They were sharing a sim with Alliance Navy for a while. I offered them the ground level of our sim, but I pretty sure that Kelly C caught Alis cheating. And if the Alis remains in their group, that offer has expired. If Alis is removed from their group, they are more than welcome to join. We've suspected Alis is cheating in our sim multiple times before we made the HUD-Res snooper and the other snoopers and stuff like that to see what people are rezzing and what points they're rezzing it from. I mean, it's to the point where he gets put on an RLV HUD where he has to wear it so that he can't wireframe when he comes into our sim, and then he just leaves. He won't attach it. So that's the deal with Valkyr. Alliance Navy, I guess, is closing down. I don't quite know what's happening. Their sim was there last night. I logged in this morning. It is not there. Luca has replaced it with some elf fucking shit or something like that. I don't know. Sim
explanation.
Go ahead.
Basically, they kind of shut down the sim, and Lucas said, "It's my sim. I am doing with it what I want."
That's what I kind of figured. Kind of a shame.
So he made a fuckboy elf sim?
I guess. I don't know what he's
kind
doing.
of.
Yeah. But you know, Luca was paying for the sim. That's his choice. You know, if all they're gonna catch is Resistance and other groups that have old AN members in them coming to grief them, why should they bother? The attitude of this community has gotten so shitty in the past 3 months. It's disgusting. And I was talking to Croc about it earlier today. I'm gonna talk to some other people, and it's just like we've got quite a few problems going on in our community, and we aren't innocent in any of these issues either. Some groups go into fighting other groups with this mentality of, oh, this is going to be like it always is, so it ends up being like it always is. It's self-fulfilling. Some people are holding grudges for shit that happened 12 years ago. We were all teenagers 12 years ago. A lot of us are almost 30 now. Why are we still acting like we're 16 years old? You know? A lot of people take drama from other communities and bring them into the SLMC. We don't see that much in our group because the majority of us don't do anything but SLMC stuff. A lot of people just take this shit way too seriously, and we're really guilty of that sometimes, but in our defense, we do put a lot of extra time into this to hand other groups stuff to use and things like that, and sometimes it does feel like your face is just getting spat in when you're fucking handing out all this free stuff. And, you know, people just go, oh, well, now we're going to try to break that thing that you handed out. But the good news is that because people try to break our shit and then mock us for it, our stuff gets updated really quickly, like LBA, you know, as soon as somebody finds a bad bug in LBA, it always gets updated. If you need the newest version of LBA, if you're working on something, you can go to the GitHub link. I'm going to grab it for you guys. One sec. This also has gun scripts in it. Read the scripts carefully. They're not named the way that they would be in World. You can figure it out if you pay attention and are smart. The LBA scripts are configured in a way that you can immediately just copy paste, put them in an object, and you're good to go. NTLBA is a version of LBA that Sinstraf worked on, and then I had him add to the GitHub. That one has all the processing removed. So the only kind of damage griefing that it can detect is AT cap griefing. I can teach you how to build an anti-grief system around that at some point, or Sufferot can, where if damage is greater than cap or whatever, it fucking twirlies them or whatever you feel like doing. There's a lot of ways. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. The nice thing is there's a talk between me and Villani and me and a couple other people about doing a fleet ship only version of LBA. I haven't spoken to Villani in a couple of weeks though. I haven't even seen him online. I'd like to talk to Dark about it, where basically any damage over a set amount would reduce 1 armor point or 1 shield point from the object and so on and so forth. It'd be pretty cool to mess with, and I'd like to see it done because fleet ships right now are just giant flying tanks and they're really boring. We want to redo the fleet ship system. If you have access to the forums and you have the militia tag or higher, you can take a look at what Tyro and I were talking about for redoing the fleet ships and so on and so forth. Dread was kind of opposed to doing shields on the fleet ship. I kind of elaborated as to all such and such groups already have shields, so on and so forth. We can't keep balancing our gear over what someone's... Okay, we'll take a look at it later. It's not a big deal.
I also have an
not a big deal.
I have an idea for fleet ships later we could talk about.
Okay, yeah, for sure. We're gonna have a Mechanicus meeting sometime in the next 7 days as well.
If it's like past like 4 p.m. SLT, I can go.
Alright, yeah, we'll make sure it is then, because you're one of our mesh artists, so it kind of sucks that Zane couldn't be here right now, but it's whatever. Because this isn't the Mechanicus meeting, so we've got that. As far as recruitment goes, Detox is back. Rachel and I decided that Detox didn't need to go back through Cult since he left on such good terms. However, he will need somebody to do Imperfectus with him. Dio, Brian, and Puka. Get in touch with your COs. Let me know what you need to do as far as training so that we can get you guys your veteran rank.
User entered your channel.
We'll probably see an influx of members here in the next week or so. We need NCOs for training and stuff like that.
I am here to do trainings.
Yeah,
I
Shaza
am
can
good
train.
trainings.
Sam can train
actually,
people. Go ahead.
Take needs to train people.
Oh, is he done with his
He just
or
needs a cultist to run through.
Okay, cool. And then yeah, so we'll get that taken care of. Nia made us new banners. I haven't distributed them yet. I forgot to. I distributed the textures like the one behind me, but there's also mesh banners. So I'll distribute those sometime this weekend. There is a reason why the auto gun still isn't on Marketplace. I'll take care of that this weekend. I apologize that it's taken so long. It is going to get out this weekend. Let me know when SimRent is due next. I am sitting on quite a number of Lindens I can put some towards it. Now, that being said, as our active numbers are going back up, which they are, except for like the past few days where everybody's just been recovering from the holidays, we are going to work on the subscription thing this year. If everybody in the group can give $10.14 a month, in Linden's preferably, it would really save the SimRent thing from being so stressful to the few people that are paying for it right now. Understand that times are tight, it's right after the holidays, but let's not forget about the sim. This has been a very good sim. We got it on a deal. The Chugs kept the deal for us after the first few months, so we're not going to get this pricing deal again.
Hey,
Just
look,
bear that in
sucking
mind.
dick. Sucking dick is always an option.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
Tyro.
get
more
my
thing.
avatar back.
Oh, go ahead.
God damn it.
One more thing, actually, on top of what Hadet was saying, with preferably in Linden's. Okay, if you guys don't like want to go through the hassle of like fucking PayPal or some shit like that, you can always send fucking money through Facebook even.
Yeah, Facebook's money transfer service is really good. If you guys don't want to go through PayPal or buy Linden's to pay the transfer fee or whatever, you can always Facebook me money. I keep records of how much money we spend on SimRent. I do not get any of your payment details through Facebook. You can pay. You would have to Facebook it to me because Sarah's in Canada. I would get
Yeah.
the money to her through Linden's, no problem. I've kept incredibly good paperwork about donations through PayPal, through Facebook, through the Linden Lab stuff and everything like that, so that when we decide to start doing something else or profiting from some of our work, we can file it for taxes and stuff like that. So, that's good. As for the server donation stuff, that's good until around this time next month. So
Yeah,
that's
because
all
I
paid
paid it.
for. Yeah, Dread paid for it.
Because it was so easy with the Facebook Pay.
Yeah, you just click a little button. So that's all good. I think that's it, guys. I think we're good. Take, we'll get you a cultist to train. We'll get you up to Marauder. Dio, Brian, Puka, let's get you guys to veteran, and then once we bring in enough people, you guys will be 3 up for promotions around the same time. Again, after that. Go
I
ahead.
have a few things.
Okay.
You were talking about how we wanted to do the chaos night thing,
Yeah.
and I think you had a good idea earlier, like a few weeks ago, with raid bosses and shit.
Yeah.
If we can do some sort of damage tracking shit, we could make that into an Imperial raid boss, say like a fucking
You could like blow its
Imperial
arms
Knight.
and legs off and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, we can do
keep
that.
track of who dealt the most damage, and the one with the highest damage gets it.
Oh, I totally missed that part when I was talking about Animesh. Sorry, guys, I didn't have an agenda today. I wasn't sure if I was going to be home or not. So because we're getting Animesh, we can do rigged daemons and things like that. And something
hell yeah.
something that Tyro and I want to do is possessed weapons, where like the group would work together to kill a demon, like as like a demonic incursion. In the sim, and then you could take its soul and bind it to one of your weapons that you're wearing and get a stat buff to the weapon, like maybe just a slightly faster fire rate, higher corruption intake because you're feeding a demon's soul with it and stuff like that. Like cool shit. We can make like raid bosses for it, like giant great unclean ones and skull crushers and shit like that. So that's a really cool idea. I really want to mess with that. Something else I'd like to mess with is we have this AI core and we've been waiting on Animesh, but we also have all these vehicles. We can make AI vehicles like AI tanks, AI fighters, stuff like that. I want to mess around with that in the next couple months too, when we start expanding the AI so that we still have stuff to do. We don't have to stop doing what we're doing, but we may have to augment the scale of what we're doing based on the fact that the amount of people that we have to fight is getting less and less. And I don't want to see us bleed off and split apart and have internal squabbles because we have no one else to fight. We can make someone or something to fight. We don't have to just be like, okay, well, the SOMC's dead. You know, we can switch out, do whatever we want. We can stay in Second Life as long as we want to. We don't just have to disappear and go to Hi-Fi until we're ready to do that. So, there's also in-worlds, OS grid, hyper grid. Like, we've got options. We've got all our content. We can take it anywhere. So, that being said, yeah, raid bosses are going to be a thing that we can do. When the armory gets redone a little bit more, we're going to be adding the militia flag as a flag that can interact with the armory vendors. They can donate for items, stuff like that. For people with these groups dying that aren't eligible for full enlistment into our group, still being able to, come and cooperate with us and stuff like that. And we have a Discord set up for that, but it hasn't been necessary to use it so far. So we've got
We haven't
that.
touched that thing in forever.
Like 3 or 4 months. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. Things are always looking bright for us.
I have
diarrhea,
something
I'm on antibiotics. Go
that I
ahead.
want to bring up, like, tangentially related to the armory thing. So, once we have, like, the militia access, like, regardless of group tags, I feel like that... I mean, I mentioned this in the forum.
It's only going to be for part of the armory. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mentioned this in the forum once already, and, like, I don't, like, you didn't actually give me any sort of feedback on it. No one else really did either except Deli.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, I really... so, everyone else who tests our armory, like Kelly C. and, like, all these people in other groups, they don't really participate as much as Sephiroth and Deli do. And, like, once we would revoke access through the group tag and they would just have militia tag access through a database or whatever, I feel like that they are almost, like, in a different place than the other people testing our armory.
Yeah, they've been... We'll talk about that when the time gets to that. But I did read that post, and I got nothing to say about it right now because nothing has changed.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, we'll consider the options for that with Sephiroth and Deli as we get further into it, because I do agree they've contributed a lot to the group.
But it obviously has to be a group decision, because we've made a stance like, hey, no furries allowed, period, like, with no exceptions, and I feel like that, like, there literally have to be no dissent in the group if we were going to allow something
I
like
agree
that.
with you 100%. And yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there if we're not quite there yet, you know?
Well,
LOL, Tyler wants furries.
If I could add one thing on that, there's a difference between a furry and someone who acts like a furry. Sephiroth's not someone who acts like a furry, but he is a furry.
Yeah.
I could easily see him being in the group, actually, rather to, like, some, I don't know, other SLMC
Some
furry.
guy that wants to actually fuck dogs or something
Exactly.
like that. Sarah's dad.
Yeah, I act like a furry, but I'm not a furry.
Yeah.
It's true. You do act like a furry.
Go ahead.
To add to that, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind Sephiroth, because Sephiroth doesn't really act like a furry.
All right, we're trading you for Sephiroth. See you later.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I like Deli. He's an okay guy.
We're gonna need meetings on this.
But Deli would be the opposite of Sephiroth. Like, I don't think Deli would be like a good.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something we'll talk about when we get there. Like I said, it's not.
It's gonna take lots and lots of delegate meetings to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk about it on the forums. Like, we don't need a meeting for it.
Talk about it. There's a forum thread already. The thing that I said to Morton over his forum thread was, I would rather militia people that hang around here that do have access to the armory and our armor be wearing our armor, because it's less textures for us to load, and that's really what it comes down to. I like my frame rate. If I had the whole SLMC wearing our armor, I still wouldn't be upset about it, because my frame rate would be incredible. I'd never have any drop frames. So
well, why don't we allow militia to have access to our... Oh wait, no, we shouldn't do that, because it's open.
Yeah, because then there's no differentiating factor between...
We could make it, like... We could, like, vouch for militia people and have them, like, have access to our armor if they're actually active.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll get around to it. We'll talk about it on the forums. That's what they're there for.
Okay.
Yeah, this meeting is more about R&D. We're going to be doing a big pass through the database. Every gun's going to get updated very soon with the new draw and sling system. There might not be much more to update about. I already talked about it, so we're good on that. Yeah. So that's all good. I think that's it for the meeting, guys. If you guys
have 2 or 3 more things.
God damn it! Shut the fuck up.
God.
No,
Well, you interrupted me and went on with your own stuff, which is fine.
Okay.
But secondly, I would like to recommend highly against having VLK in our sim. Between Dusty, Sadistic, Alis, and Kirshak, we have always had problems with them when we fought with them in AN.
Yeah.
That's it on VLK. Dark is also on an auto killer. It's Deli's auto killer. I asked him
That's
if
okay.
he
He's
had...
on timeout too.
Yeah, he is on timeout. I just asked him if he had run it past anybody in the group before he put him on one, and I told him just make sure he does that in the future, because we need to keep track of whose penises we're slapping and why.
Yeah. No, I mean, if no one was around to do anything, that's something, you know, that's at the discretion of whoever's there to deal with the stupidity at the time. Dread,
Right.
Sim enforcement panel. Add OIC check, add rank check.
Yeah, can do.
Alright, thank you. Set that thing up to where it doesn't need to be deeded to group. When you deeded it to group, I couldn't take a copy of it to modify it. Please don't have that deeded to group. Just have it as an object out that you own. Stop deeding things to group.
It has to be deeded to group to actually work with the band.
The
shit and
band.
all that.
Okay, that sucks. Alright, then yeah, I guess you're gonna have to deed it to group. That. No, you have band powers in the parcel. It should work regardless if you own it.
Let's test that.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it will. Yeah, so the reason why is, like I've told people before, and I'm going to say it again, and hopefully people will watch this video and understand why deeding to group, especially with the black box, you need to change that, because the black box is no modify, and I wouldn't res the black box if I didn't have the actual script for it full firms. When
Okay.
you deed an object to group, it now owns that group. It can eject anyone but owners from that group. It can return prims without asking
that's
for
cool.
permission. Yeah. It can do anything that an owner of that group can. That's why we're so fucking iffy about giving people owner and giving people deed powers in groups that are important to us. Please do not make things unless it's 100% required and you're handing it out full firms so that people can see what it does that require deed to group permissions. Alright, that's the meeting.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
I linked the militia stuff into the TeamSpeak. If you guys want to participate in discussion, I'll add the the extra stuff we talked about in the meeting to it, though.
Okay.
Finally, have we actually checked apps in a bit?
What's that?
Have we actually checked applications in a bit?
Yeah. Rachel's been on it.
Yeah, Rachel's
Okay.
been on it. Detox
Yeah.
sent Rachel an application. She hadn't gotten back to him. I just invited Detox back to group because I already talked to Rachel
We
about
had
it.
3 last week with 2.
Yeah, what
that
happened to
were
Oodles?
I don't know.
Okay.
She's dealing with sicknesses right now, so.
Okay, that's fine. Tell her to
What
get
happened?
in contact with us, please.
Can I join the
Say what
group?
again?
What's that?
Can I join?
No.
No, what did you say, Moon? Moondoggy, what did you say?
Matt!
Well, sorry, I have 150 kilobytes on Second Life. Everything keeps going in and out.
What did you
What?
say?
What did I say?
Yeah, what's going on with your fat friend?
she's dealing with sicknesses, and I'm not entirely sure she's gonna be 4-1 for SL Combat. I'll still have to talk to her about that.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
Talk about-
She's like throwing up everything right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
tell her
just
to
tell her
go
to get in
to
contact with us.
That's hot.
Oh, so the thing is, she told me, she says nobody's gotten in contact with me in a while, so I don't think anything's gonna happen. So I was like, okay.
Is the
Oh.
application still pending or something?
Yeah.
I
I
so.
think the only active corruptors we have are Rachel, Sam, and Shaza at the moment. Tyro.
Oh, I wasn't
Hello?
given any applications. I didn't even
Check
know.
the forum board. She said that they
Okay.
were up for grabs. Yeah.
I will go look now.
Yeah. Alright, cool, we're done.
Wait,
Alright,
what about
alright.
Tyro? What did I do?
You're a bitch.
You
Yeah.
are able to corrupt as well.
I can. Do you need me to?
We're going to need a lot of corruptors very soon.
Okay, I'm willing to put the work in. Also, why is Ricky on an alternate account trying to get his girlfriend in the group?
I don't know.
Really weird.
Ricky doesn't have
what?
girlfriends. He has boyfriends.